Today I want to talk about something we all feel but rarely confess. The exhausting pressure of feeling like we are falling behind. Look around us. Everyone seems to be in a hurry. Hurry to study, hurry to work, hurry to get rich. But tonight I want to share a small secret with you. You do not need to run. You just need to walk steadily. The power of being 1% better. We often think that to change our lives, we must do something massive. We set grand goals, burn ourselves out in 3 days, and then quit because we're exhausted. But real change doesn't work that way. Have you ever thought about the power of just becoming 1% better each day? It sounds invisible, like putting a single coin into a jar. It feels like nothing today, nothing tomorrow. But day by day, quietly, that jar fills up. You don't need to be perfect today. You just need to be a little more gentle, a little more patient with yourself than you were yesterday. The story of Daniel. Let me tell you a short story about a man named Daniel. Daniel wasn't rich or extraordinary. His life looked just like yours and mine. Every morning he woke up tired. He went to work, came home, scrolled through his phone in the dark, and fell asleep. He always waited for some day, a perfect day with powerful motivation to change his life. But that day never came. Until one quiet night, sitting alone in his kitchen, he looked in the mirror and realized something profound. The thing that exhausted him the most was not failure. It was the feeling of standing still. That night, he made a quiet promise. Tomorrow, I don't need to be a new person. I just need to be a little better. The next morning, Daniel woke up just 10 minutes earlier. He drank a glass of water instead of his usual sweet coffee. That evening, he took a short walk instead of scrolling on his phone. Nobody applauded him. Nobody noticed. Even Daniel felt it was too small to matter. But he kept going, one page of a book, one quiet breath before getting angry, one night of sleeping early. Of course, there were days he failed completely, days he stayed up too late and felt lazy again. But this time he didn't quit, because he finally understood growth is not about being perfect. It is about continuing even when you are flawed. 6 months later, there was no dramatic success story, but Daniel had changed. His mind was calmer, his body felt lighter. He smiled more. The biggest changes in his life had come from the smallest, quietest choices. Healing thoughts for tonight. My friends, we often underestimate the small steps because we cannot see the results right away. But life is not changed in one dramatic night. It is changed in ordinary mornings, in silent discipline, in the moments when nobody is watching, but you still choose to try. Maybe today your progress looked very small. Maybe all you did was get out of bed, drink some water, or listen to this podcast. Please know that it matters, more than you think. There will be difficult days ahead, days when your motivation disappears and old habits return. But remember this, a bad day does not erase a good journey. You are still growing, even when growth feels slow. So tonight, before you close your eyes, be proud of the small effort you made today, even if nobody noticed, even if the world stayed exactly the same. Little by little, choice by choice, you are building a stronger mind and a softer heart. Take a moment right now. Look at your shoulders. Are they tight? Drop them down. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out slowly through your mouth. Let the day go. Whatever happened this morning, whatever is waiting for you tomorrow, just leave it outside the door. For the next 20 or 30 minutes, you have nothing to prove, nowhere to rush, and no one to impress. You are safe here. I often sit by my window at this age. I am 50 now, and I watch the world go by. I see young people rushing to the train station. I see cars speeding down the street. I see the constant hurry in everyone's eyes. And it makes me think about how we live our lives today. We live in a world that praises speed. We want fast food, fast internet, fast learning, and fast success. But tell me, my friends, when was the last time you walked without looking at your phone? When was the last time you sat quietly with a cup of tea just listening to the rain without feeling guilty that you were wasting time? Yesterday I was sitting at a small coffee shop and I looked at a young man sitting near me. He was opening his phone, scrolling very fast. His face looked stressed. He opened one app, then another, then another. I could feel his anxiety from across the room. It reminded me of myself many years ago, when I thought that if I stopped running for even one day, the world would leave me behind. We open our phones every morning, and what do we see? We see social media. We see people traveling to beautiful islands. We see people buying big houses, driving expensive cars, getting promotions, or showing off their perfect bodies. They look so happy. They look like they have everything figured out. And then we look at our own reality. Maybe you are sitting in a small, messy room. Maybe you are struggling to pay your rent next week. Maybe your English is still not fluent and you feel embarrassed when you speak. Maybe you tried to build a good habit this week, but you failed on Wednesday and stayed in bed all day. Slowly, quietly, a small voice inside your mind starts to whisper, "Look at them. Look at you. You are falling behind. You are a failure." But today, as an older friend who has walked this path before you, I want to tell you a beautiful truth. This comparison is a trap, and it is time to break free from it. Let us talk about this comparison. Why do we do it? Because we forget that social media is not real life. What you see on that screen is a highlight reel. Do you know what a highlight reel is? It is a collection of only the best, most beautiful moments of a person's life. No one posts a video of themselves waking up at 3 a.m. crying because they are lonely. No one takes a picture of their credit card debt. No one shares the moment they had a terrible argument with their partner or the moment they failed an important exam. People only show their trophies, never their scars. When you compare your messy, everyday reality with someone else's perfect, edited highlight reel, you are being unfair to yourself. It is like comparing the behind-the-scenes mistakes of a movie with the final, beautiful poster outside the theater. Let me tell you a story from my own life. When I was in my late 20s, I had a friend named Thomas. To the world, Thomas was a giant success. He was wealthy, he traveled every weekend, and he always wore the finest clothes. I remember looking at him and feeling so small. I thought, why is his life so easy and mine is so hard? What am I doing wrong? Many years later, Thomas and I sat down for a quiet dinner. The music was low, the room was dark, and the noise of the world was gone. Thomas looked at me with tired eyes and he said, "Dan, during those years I was the loneliest man alive. I worked 18 hours a day. I had no real friends. I was taking medicine just to sleep at night. But I had to keep pretending on the outside because I was terrified of looking weak. That night, I realized something that changed my life forever. Behind every successful curtain, there is a hidden struggle. No one becomes strong without difficulty. The people you admire, the confident speakers, the successful creators, the fluent English speakers, they all started from zero. They all had seasons of deep loneliness, failure, rejection, fear, and uncertainty. When you see a giant, beautiful tree in the forest, you admire its green leaves and strong branches, but you do not see the roots. The roots are deep in the dark dirt. They had to push through hard rocks, survive terrible storms, and find water in the dry winter. Your life right now is in the root building season. It is dark, it is quiet, and it feels invisible. But without this season, you can never grow tall. So please stop comparing your roots to someone else's branches. You are growing at your own beautiful pace, and that is exactly how it should be. Now, let us talk about how we actually grow. Many people tell me, Dan, I want to change my life. I want to learn English. I want to exercise. I want to read books. But I just don't have the motivation. Motivation. We love motivation, don't we? We watch an inspiring video online, our hearts beat fast, and we think, yes, today I am going to change everything. I am going to study English for 4 hours tonight. But what happens the next morning? The weather is cold. You are tired from work. The excitement is gone. And suddenly, studying English feels like a mountain you cannot climb. So you say, maybe tomorrow. I will wait until I feel motivated again. My friends, listen to me closely. Motivation is a liar. It is temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. If you look outside your window, some mornings are sunny and warm. Other mornings are gray, rainy, and cold. If you only go outside when the sun shines, you will spend half of your life stuck inside. If you only work on your dreams when you feel happy and inspired, you will stop too often. You will never build anything beautiful. This is why discipline is infinitely more important than motivation. For a young person, discipline sounds like a punishment. It sounds like a strict teacher or a prison. But when you reach 50, you realize that discipline is actually the highest form of self-love. Discipline means making a promise to yourself and keeping that promise even when your feelings change. It means understanding that your dreams are more important than your temporary laziness. And remember, discipline does not mean doing extreme things. You do not need to wake up at 4 a.m., run 10 miles, and read a whole book every day. That is not sustainable. When people try to change everything in 1 week, they burn out, and then they quit everything. Real, lasting transformation is gentle. It is quiet. It is simple actions, repeated consistently every single day. Discipline simply means waking up just 10 minutes earlier, even when the bed is warm and comfortable. Drinking a glass of pure water in the morning instead of reaching for a sugary coffee. Reading just 1 page of a book before you sleep, instead of scrolling on your phone for 1 more hour. Practicing English for 15 minutes every night, even when you are tired and your brain feels slow. Nobody will applaud you for these things. Your friends will not see you reading that 1 page. The world will not notice that you chose water over coffee. In the moment, these choices feel so small that they seem meaningless. But never underestimate the power of consistency. Think about the rain. A single drop of rain is soft and weak. It cannot hurt anyone. But if the rain keeps falling day after day, year after year, those soft drops can shape giant mountains and carve deep canyons. Your daily effort works the same way. One small choice today, repeated for a year, will completely rewrite your destiny. But let us be honest with each other. Even with discipline, there will be days when you fail completely. There will be days when life hurts you. A plan you worked on for months will fail. Someone you love will disappoint you. You might lose your job, your money, or your confidence. You will find yourself sitting on the floor of your room, staring at the wall, feeling completely empty and lost. During those dark seasons, your mind will try to attack you. It will say, "See, you tried and you failed. You waste your time. You are too old, or you are too late, or you are simply not smart enough." When those days arrive, and they arrive for everyone, including me, I want you to remember this phrase: a bad day does not erase a good journey. If you are driving a car on a long road trip to a beautiful city and you suddenly get a flat tire, what do? Do you destroy the car? Do you turn around and go all the way back home? No. You stop. You fix the tire. You take a breath, and then you keep driving forward. A failure in your life is just a flat tire. It is a moment to rest, not a reason to quit. We must learn to look at pain differently. In our modern world, we try to avoid discomfort at all costs. We take pills for any small pain, we use entertainment to distract us from sadness, and we run away from anything that feels difficult. But pain is not always an enemy. Sometimes pain is a teacher that comfort could never buy. Think about the lessons of life. Prosperity and comfort are nice, but they make us soft. They make us complacent. It is the difficult seasons that build our character. Failure teaches us humility. It shows us how to listen and learn. Loneliness teaches us independence. It shows us that we are strong enough to stand on our own 2 feet. Struggle teaches us resilience. It proves to us that we can bend, but we will not break. The goal of a meaningful life is not to avoid the storms forever. The goal is to learn how to dance in the rain, knowing that the storm will eventually pass. Think about a butterfly. Before it has beautiful wings, it must live inside a dark, tight cocoon. To get out, it must push through a tiny hole. This process is incredibly difficult and painful for the butterfly. But scientists discovered that if you use a small knife to open the cocoon to help the butterfly, its wings will be weak and it will never be able to fly. The struggle to escape the cocoon is exactly what forces the fluid into its wings, making them strong enough for flight. My friends, your current struggle might be your cocoon. Do not hate it. Do not wish it away. It is preparing your wings. You are becoming someone new, someone stronger, wiser, and more beautiful. Growth is uncomfortable because you are leaving your old self behind. Trust the process. And that is the end of our talk today, my friends. Remember, you do not need to change your whole life in one day. Just focus on becoming 1% better today. Small, quiet steps will lead you to a beautiful future. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end of this episode. Your time is valuable, and I am truly grateful to share it with you. I hope this podcast brought a little peace and usefulness to your day. If you love our Quiet Corner, please subscribe to the Awake English podcast. Your support gives me the motivation to create more healing episodes for you. Take a deep breath, let go of the rush, and take good care of yourself. Until next time, goodbye, my friends.